Well, g'day everybody, and welcome to Endzone, a world apart. This is a post-apocalyptic survival city building game. And the first thing I want to do is thank the devs very much for providing a copy of this game to the channel so that we can do a play. Don't forget that there will be a link below if you want to grab a copy yourself, and definitely give this video a thumbs up and make a comment if you want to see some more of this. This is an absolutely awesome game. I've had a little bit of a fiddle around with it, so we're probably not going to do the tutorial today. Let's head straight into a new game. We're going to go into survival mode, and what we are going to do, there's different modes. So there's easy game, start an easy game in which you still have combat threats such as drought. On the other hand, you have much more time to react and prepare yourself. Normal, a well-balanced but equally challenging game around using neutral settings, and advanced difficulty, which is more of a challenge. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into here, and we're going to do some settings here. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to droughts are constant. You can go constant drought, no droughts, or random droughts. Now, what I'm going to do for this gameplay and for this series is probably have no droughts on, and the only reason I'm going to do that is because you have a drought every maybe I don't know, every 3 or 4 seasons or something. So what I'm going to do is sort of skip that at this particular point in time. Diseases will be on, side missions on, the wildlife herds are normal, raiders will be on, and everything else we're just going to sort of leave the same. So let's apply that. We will do a random seed. Let's just do some random seeds there. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. We'll do a large map size, medium amount of numbers, medium amount of lakes, forests, ruins, and free area around starting point. All right, let's get into this. We will let's do a random new civ, Ratless. Let's call this town Ratless. I do like that one. So let's jump straight into it. Again, thank you very much to the devs for providing this to the channel. I hope you guys enjoy it, because I do love a good city builder, and this one is really, really appealing, and it has some great mechanics, which we'll go through when we start the game. Alright, so this is our town square.
This looks like a good place to settle. You know what we learned in the Endzone. Basic needs come first and foremost. We have to build up a water and food supply, and then...
Alright, let's build ourselves a new home. So here we are. So the first thing that we want to do is make sure that we've got a good supply of water and a good supply of food. At the moment, we've got, I'm just going to change my glasses over here, guys. We've got 600 water, we've got 600 food, 200 wood, 200 scrap. We've got 15 tools and 15 radiation protection. Now, if we have a look at the radiation overlay down here, you can see these areas that are radiated. Now, obviously, the closer to red that those areas are, you can see a little gauge down here, the worse the radiation is. So we do need to be very, very careful of that. At the moment, all of the scrap and stuff is a considerable way away from our camp, but we can't do anything about that at this point in time. So one of the things that I have found out about this, and let's start by assigning maybe 6 people to building, and we'll leave 4 settlers. Now, 4 settlers, you have tasks down here, so 4 settlers can do things such as gather wood, etc. So what we'll do is we'll get some settlers to gather some wood there, and we can also gather scrap as well. So we'll get some settlers to gather some scrap down there too. After our first rain, we should see some of that radiation wash away, but it does come back. Up the top here, we've got adults. We have 10 adults in camp, and we have 5 children. Now, that brings me to housing. In regards to housing, and while we're doing housing, we're going to build ourselves a jetty over here. And the reason why we're going to build a jetty over here is so that we have a water supply. So we're going to build ourselves a jetty, and we're going to build ourselves a cistern. up here to store that water. So there you go. So the builders should head over to do that. You can see people are heading in to start chopping trees. Everybody's moving to do that. They're the builders heading up to probably chop those trees around here. Now, the very first thing, especially when you're doing droughts and stuff like that, is which we're not doing on here at this point in time, is to ensure that you get your water supply and your food supply up. Now that's going to be really important to the survival of your villages and of the people that are part of your thing, part of your new colony. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly, and we will do this as we go, is housing. Now, in regards to housing, you really need to control your population here, because if your population expands too much too quickly, then you're going to run out of water and food resources. Yet at the same time, you do need it to expand in a sense, because you need the workers. Now, if we go into here, this is where the professions are for everybody. So at the moment, as you can see, once this jetty has been built, we will assign some water carriers. They will carry water from here into the storage in the system there, and that is their job. Now you can see all the different professions in here: well keepers, farmers, gatherers, herders, fishers, hunters, cooks, foresters. Pretty well everything that you can pretty well think of that you would require for survival. Now there's some buffalo cows here, which is pretty awesome. So what we're doing at the moment is I'm just leaving 4 settlers. Any settlers that are free will actually do what you set in these tasks here. So you can see the tasks down here. There's quite a few different tasks, including radiation removal. So they will work on those as they go. Anybody that's set to building will obviously work on building. I want to see if we can remove this amount of radiation here, just to give us a little bit more of a clear path through there. They will start working on moving those, so we'll get a couple of people that will do that. But this radiation will return, and you will notice that later on, and I'll show you when it starts raining, that this radiation will actually wash away with rain. But again, it does return at different points in time. So we need to try and make sure that our people don't get sick. Now, in regards to housing, as I was talking about, we've got cabins here, which house 2 adults and 3 children. And then we've got shelters here, which can hold 25 people, and that's adults and children as well. Now, if you build cabins, then people will reproduce. Your children will grow up and become adults, and of course your adults will die off. But if you build all cabins, then you need to be really, really careful, because what will happen is your population will increase dramatically. So you need to be really, really careful of that. So population control is actually pretty big on that. Now you can see with this rain, you can see that all of this radiation is actually starting to wash away, which is actually pretty cool. So you'll see also that somebody is here removing radiation from the soil. So that's what's happening there. All right, let's see. Now we can assign some water carriers. So we'll reduce our builders by 2, and we will throw 2 water carriers into there, and they will start actually carrying water and storing water for us, especially once that cistern is done. So this is basically our town square here, which is an old bus wreck. And we sort of build around this area, so that's pretty cool. We're going to take that radiation off. So as you can see, the rain actually removed a fair bit of that radiation. All that area there, which was all radiated area, has all actually been washed away by the rain, and we'll probably get that. We do get a lot of rain in this as well. So the next thing for us to do is once the water system is set up, what we need to do is we need to work towards providing tools so that our settlers' productivity increases and that they're far more productive. and radiation protection to stop everybody from getting sick. So if we go into the building menu here, we have food. We've got gatherer's cabin, orchard, cultivated field, fishing hut, hunting lodge, and pasture for keeping animals as well. Different construction costs down the bottom there. You can see we need 37 wood, 24 scrap, and 6 metal to build the pasture, which we can't do at the moment. So what we will do instead is we're going to build a gatherer's hut, and I'm probably going to build the gatherer's hut out. I may actually build it out here, I think. Let's rotate that, and we will line it up with that, and we'll throw that in there. Now what you can do is you can set your once it's built, you have an option down here for the gatherer's hut to be able to set, and the scrapyard huts and stuff, to be able to set the area that your people will work in. So you probably want to do that, and you can move it around. So once you've sort of effectively stripped an area of resources, you can move that circle so that they work somewhere else as well. The other thing that we're going to do is we're probably going to end up building a scrapyard down here. The reason why I'm going to build it down here is because there is a lot of scrap through here, so that should be pretty good for us there. Okay, so everybody is working away. Let's just speed everything up a little bit so that, as you can see, the water system is now built, and I can hear those. Is that wild boar, buffalo? Oh no, must be the buffalo cows making that noise. Let's just slow it down a bit. You can see some of that radiation has already started to come back again, so we've got to be really, really careful of that. Our water system here, you can set limits here, your production limits. So at the moment, our production limit for water is set at 90,000, which is absolutely awesome. We can build other things such as rainwater collectors and wells and electric water pumps. And we've got change field of work here, which doesn't really matter, so we're just gathering water from there. We can also upgrade these to water towers eventually, but as you see, we need some other resources, such as we need 12, I think it's 12 plastic and some coal as well, so we'll work on that a little bit later. Now you do need to, obviously we've got a gatherer's hut there, so we do need to assign some people to that. One of our children has actually matured and become an adult, which is pretty cool. I'm going to throw at this point in time 2 people to work on gathering, and they're going to gather these areas, and you'll see these bushes here. Mushrooms are highlighted on the ground, and berry bushes, so they'll gather berry bushes and stuff, and we can relocate this out here at some point when we want to. The other thing that I've also found to be really, really handy in the beginning is to create ourselves a fishing hut, which we shall create right there. And that fishing hut will also be another resource of food gathering. So between berries and fishing hut in the beginning, that's probably where I'll stop, I think. I do believe. But what I will do at some point, we'll eventually get a hunting lodge. We'll get some farming fields done, and sort all that type of stuff out. Now on our little overlay menu down here, we have the radiation, which is actually showing now. We have the soil moisture, which is showing there. You can see that it's quite wet through here, and it's just moist through here. No funny comments, hokey pokey. And through here it's all actually dried out, so there's some really dried out areas through here as well. We've got a very, very large map to work on here as well. Location attractiveness, there's really nothing in that for us at the moment, but what will happen eventually is we'll probably end up doing is we're going to have these buildings over here. We're going to have scrapyards and manufacturing facilities over here, and we'll try and keep this area over here for housing and stuff, so that we can try and keep this area sort of more attractive to everybody, if you understand what I mean. Electricity we don't have at the moment, but there are places that can take electricity as well. and building conditions, which show the condition of your building. So there you go. They're the overlays that we have there. Our water's sitting at 502 at the moment, but we do have 2 water carriers working on that. So at the moment, our tank is starting to fill up. So we've got 260 water in stock there, and that is going down as well. All right, perfect. Next thing that we're going to want to do is consider building some houses for people as well, because eventually we will start getting notifications that people are homeless, and that all affects the contentment. So at the moment they're at an even temperedness, but obviously if we rich food, so we've got 3 rich food. If they become very, very unhappy, then things sort of start to mess up a little bit for us as well. So we need to keep our eye on that. You can turn buildings on and off. When I was using drought during the during learning to play this game, then I did find that during a drought I would turn off this, and I would basically reallocate the water carriers to other tasks in the community while the drought was on, and then send them back again. So need to keep that in mind. All right, the next thing that we need to do, as you can see, fishers, we haven't allocated any yet. That's because the building is not built yet, so I don't want to allocate anybody until the building has been built. Resource wise, what we want to do is we want to build ourselves a scrapyard. Now I'm going to build this. I know that this is a fair way away from our town centre, but the reason why I want to build it there is because we've got all of this scrap here, so it's going to take people who are allocated to that building less time to get out here and start dropping all of this stuff. Now you can see that with small bits of junk like these little scrap piles and stuff, they can be collected just by people who just by settlers who haven't been allocated tasks. But you will notice that things like this heavy duty truck, etc., they require scrapyards to be able to be salvaged. So that's worth taking into note. There's some nice roadway there, but the rest of it has all been grown over. So we'll slowly. Also, these gas station ruins, you can see there's 450 scrap here, and that's a considerable amount of scrap. So we do need to keep our eye on these resources as well. Hopefully this fishing hut, if I speed this up a little bit, this fishing hut is going to be done. There, we're still working on removing the radiation, but I do believe that some of it has come back. You can see through this area here, that has actually come back as well. So we'll take that back off. Okay, let's slow this down. Now you can see that this is ready to go. So we need to allocate 2 people to that, to fishing, and we'll return one of these people over to here. So here we go. Now we're starting to get the homeless settlers notification there, so we will need to start building some houses, which we shall do. If we go into housing, we will build a couple of cabins, and what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to build them all off the town centre here. So we'll build a couple of houses here, and we'll build our houses out around this area here, so which I think will actually be pretty cool. So we'll throw that in there. I'm going to build 6 of these for now, and that should be okay. So we've got 2 builders on who should be building that. We've got community stuff here, so campfire and all that type of stuff. It adds +4 to location attractiveness, so we'll work on all that type of stuff. We have cemeteries, medical facilities, schools and pubs. Logistics wise, we've got food stations, storerooms, warehouses, water points, markets. We're probably going to at some point have to build ourselves a warehouse to make sure that we've got enough storage and stuff. People can remove roads, they can upgrade roads, they can build dirt roads as well, which we will build through areas like this. So if we grab there, and we will build a road through there. And the builders will do this, but they won't I don't think they prioritize building roads. So let's run that road through here, like so. What I am going to do, I'm going to cancel that construction there, because I actually put him in the wrong spot. So where are we? Road, houses, right there, cabin. There we go, that's a little bit better. Okay, now we'll go back into logistics and dirt roads. Now, as I said, the dirt roads will make people travel a lot faster as well, so they'll actually increase your productivity. So it's worth doing these. Let's run you straight up. Oh, straight through there, and we'll run you down to there, I think, at this point in time. And people will traverse a lot easier. We'll also run a road up there, and obviously across here as well, which will help people traverse a lot quicker to the areas that they want to traverse along, increasing productivity, hopefully. There we go, and we'll run one straight through here like so. And down there, and that'll let us that'll let them work in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this area to here for now, and we'll keep them away from that area. They should start here, I'm hoping. These buildings here, they should start here, so if they start dismantling this gas station, that would be absolutely awesome. Okay, so we've got this building ready, so now what we need to do is we need to allocate some scrap collectors. So I'm going to throw 2 people into there, and I'm going to drop 1 person off of building. So we've got 2 settlers, we've got 2 builders, we've got 2 people in there, 2 gathering and 2. So I'm just sort of trying to balance it a little bit. Okay, which means that now I can basically where did we set the other scrap collection thing? We did set it somewhere, didn't we? This one here was the forestry one, I think. Yes, that's the gather wood one. That over there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to delete that now, so that because we've got scrap collectors, so they should be collecting there a lot better, which will free these guys up to do wood until such time as we have a woodcutter in. So there you go. Alright, so that's a pretty good start. That is a pretty good start indeed to what we are doing. Our water's definitely going up. Our food is still a little bit of a worry. It's not going up as quickly as we want it. But again, you can set production limits for all of these as well. And all of the rest of the stuff we will get into at some other point. We've got tasks, we've got notifications, we've got game logs and survival guides that we can look at. We have statistics, resources, which give us an idea of the resources that we have. So our water is at plus 385. Our beans, our beans that we had originally are going down because we don't have any more. Berries are going up at plus 80, which is really good. Fish is going up at plus 80, and mushrooms are going up at plus 80 as well. But that's kind of changing depending on what they do. So let's slow that down again a little bit there. And for now, guys, I'm going to leave this episode here. You can see our roads are starting to get built now, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to leave this episode here. Definitely, if you want to see more of this, leave a comment below. Hit like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Endzone. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.